Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. To start off this season, I'm going to be doing these pumpkin kind of space buns. I'm going to be using two colors. So this is actually a Trolls punky color, and the other one is the Colorista. I'm a huge fan of these colors, or these one-day color sprays. I think they wash out really well. This I'll be using green for the vines of the pumpkin, and then this is actually for the body of the pumpkin since it's orange. So to get the body of the pumpkins, I'm actually going to be using these, they're little bun inserts. I don't know what you call them, but you put them inside your bun and then you can wrap your hair around or do the sock method where you kind of twist it out, but it's just for volume. So I have two of them. I'll be twisting my hair in them, and then I'm going to leave a little bit of hair sticking out. That way I can use that leftover sticking out hair for the vines. And once my hair is wrapped into these little bun things, I'm going to use a bunch of tiny little elastics just to kind of make the pumpkin tight at certain ends, the way the pumpkin has the little lines. It gives it body. I don't know. Follow along and we'll see how it goes. I start out by parting my hair right down the middle, and I will be keeping these two pieces out of my tight ponytails. I really prefer all my hairstyles like that. That way it frames my face. And we're just going to tie these two sections of hair into two really tight and kind of high ponytails. We want a really good base or foundation for where our two buns will be. And I'm not sure what this tool is called, so I'm just going to call it a donut hole, but you're going to wrap it around your ponytail or pull your ponytail through it. I then wrap the hair around the donut hole as many times as I can, and I try my best not to twist the ponytail as I'm wrapping it around that donut hole. And as I'm doing this, I'm also trying to spread out the ponytail so it covers most of the donut hole. So this is going to be my last loop around or wrap around that donut hole, and I am going to leave the extra pieces of hair just sticking out on top because I will be using that to create a stem look for the top of the pumpkin. And I just go around and spread out the hair around the donut hole to fill in any gaps so that you don't see the little bun maker inside. I then secure this bun with bobby pins so that there's no flopping or bouncing around at all. And once it's secure, I move on to the next ponytail. I put the donut hole around and pull the ponytail through, and I am going to do that same process of looping the ponytail around the bun or the donut hole again and again until I have enough hair to stick up from the top. And from this angle you are able to see I do kind of a better job at keeping it completely smooth and not twisting that ponytail, and it really helps to be able to spread the hair evenly all around and fill in any empty gaps you may have. Once I'm left with enough hair to create that root on top, I just evenly distribute the hair surrounding that little donut hole or donut, and I go around and secure that bun with a few bobby pins all around. I then go in with some little tiny elastics, and I'm just going to tie these around that bun to create the like those curves and the little indents that pumpkins normally have. So it's just really to give it texture and kind of depth in some areas. I don't worry too much about evenly putting rubber bands gapped out a certain space from each other. You really won't be able to tell how close or far they are from each other, but the cool thing about using the elastics is once you put one on, it adds the indent to the front as well as the back of that pumpkin. So because I will be coloring the stems of my pumpkin a different color compared to the base. I'm going in here and I just rolled that stem up into a kind of like little ball, and I'm covering it just in a tissue paper and a rubber band. That way the stems don't get spray painted as I go in with the orange spray paint, since I will be spray painting orange first. Because I will only be coloring the buns orange, I go in here with toilet paper or tissue paper, and I just wrap my kind of the roots of my hair so that I don't spray paint it orange. With spray paint, it really is hard to aim precisely at a certain area, so I just use this to cover up. And look at that color. I was thoroughly impressed with this pumpkin color Trolls orange hairspray. I loved the fact that it was pretty true to the color of the outside of the can. Usually when I apply it to my dark hair, well, because I have a mix of dark hair and some colored lighter pieces, I don't always get what is advertised on the can, but I absolutely loved this color. It's the perfect shade of orange that I wanted for these pumpkin buns. So you can see how with spray paint it's really hard to focus it on one area. It gets everywhere. You do see it on my shirt, and eventually you'll see kind of spots on my skin. It didn't stain anything at all. Actually, it was a little messy, but not as bad as other spray paints that I've used before. It's usually really tricky to get the back of my hair, but since it's such a bright color, I was able to see where I was missing or patches that weren't filled in. So once I take this white tissue paper off, you can see that it got a little bit on the front roots, and it actually wipes away so easily. As you can see, it's really comparable to chalk, so just imagine it being like a dryish powder. As long as it's not wet, it'll come off pretty easily with just a paper towel. So now that the buns are spray painted orange, I take out the excess of hair that's going to be the stems of the pumpkins, and I take the paper towels off and curl these pieces of hair with a thin wand so that I can get those roots or stems to be looking really spirally, the way that stems do. And there is a little bit of spray paint that got onto the very, very tip of this section of hair, but it's not a big deal because we're going to be going over it with the green spray paint, and it actually completely covers it up. So I just finished curling these pieces on this side, and once I'm done, I move on over to the other side and do the exact same thing. I do try to keep these pieces a little thin as I'm curling them, and I do like to switch off having some curl in the direction towards my face and have a few curl in the direction away from my face. To give looser curls to these pieces of hair in the front that frame my face, I go in with a thicker barrel and I just give those a little bit of a curl, just giving them a little bit of life before I spray paint them green too. I've been using the L'Oreal Colorista One Day Sprays for probably a few years now, and I really love them. For the most part, they do stay true to the color that is advertised, even on my darker hair pieces compared to my lighter lifted pieces of hair. So using a towel as the backdrop to where I'll be spraying, not only helps with the mess, but it helps me to see where I'm aiming and where exactly the spray is going. And for some extra fun, I decided to spray these front pieces green too. And I don't go all the way up to the root, I kind of give it a little bit of a fade into it, I guess you could say. But I really do love the way that these pieces turned out. And they didn't, to my surprise, they didn't like stain or dirty my face with debris of green throughout the day. So here is the final look. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. I had a lot of fun coloring it. It was really messy, but definitely worth playing with the colors. I absolutely love playing with colors when it comes to Halloween time, especially the one-day wash where it'll spray on, come off the next day. It is going to be a little chalky. I'll see how this stays around my face, but I love it. Thank you guys so much for watching the process. I hope you enjoyed. Leave me some comments below, and then don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.